Okay, so this is the cover of the planner. It is overall a really nice look. It has the fact that it's a pray and plan on it, and the date, and then it says who it is from. Now, I will say one of the things that I really liked about my other planner is that you could choose from a list of maybe 12 different pages. So you could have, I mean, one year I had rainbows, another year I had hearts, another year I had some lavender flowers. You can choose whatever you want, but on this one, this is what you get. I don't know if in the past different years had different covers. I don't know. The other thing that I'm going to tell you right away is this is a plastic binding. I don't know how it's going to hold up for the wear and tear of the school year. I will tell you the one I had from my other company was metal. You also, I think you do get the option of choosing a different color, but I am not going to spend extra money on a different color spiral. I'm not that fussy. I save my fussiness for other things, not my spirals. Okay, when you open it up, you have this informational page. The previous planners that I got before, I did have the option of putting my own name and school on it, but here they want you to just write down yourself. Email, room, and important information. I don't know what you would put there. As of right now, I'm drawing a blank. Then there is this page, dual page, of how to use this pray and plan. I don't know how I feel about the name of it. It's not rolling off the tongue. But it talks about the different resources. One of the really cool things is there is a QR code, and there are different teacher resources that Teach for the Heart give you. So I don't know if I'll partake in those. As of right now, I don't have access to those. Well, maybe I do. I don't know about that. I'm just talking about the basic planning of it. But there's all kinds of different features in here. Let's take a look at what they've got. There is a reflection portion available in here, a to-do list, a monthly calendar. There's a memory verse. There are blank pages. These are the QR code resources that they have available. They also have daily spaces, weekly to-do, prayer prompts, plan your work time, habit trackers, a whole year at a glance, student checklists, and let me tell you, I love these pages. Communication log, and then some custom pages. What does it say about that? Additional blank pages can be found in the back of the planner. You may choose to custom them to track information. Oh, yeah. And then the other thing that I really love about this planner is it has some coloring pages, coloring portions. And I definitely foresee me taking part of this, possibly in a boring staff meeting. Okay, here is the year at a glance over here, just regular written out, nothing exciting. My school puts out one of these, and so I kind of have the idea of like our half days have a square on them, our no school days are circled, different things like that. You could probably do mark birthdays and purple, I don't know. And then here is your schedule. Now this page I actually really do like, and the thing that I like about it is very open for flexibility, okay? Previously, there have been some that were very specific to the times, but this one is allowing you to enter that in. So for example, like if I was doing this, and why I've left it blank in previous years, is for instance, last year, I didn't have math at the same time all 5 days of the week. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it was 8:30 to 9:30, and then Tuesday was different. And so I really love the flexibility that I have of putting things where I want, when I want. And then I guess this is other responsibilities. Maybe if you have different duties, lunch duty, door duty, recess duty. I guess you could put that there. I don't know what other duties. Here's an overview of the whole year again. I'm not quite sure how they want you to use this or what I will do, but maybe it's for tracking like what are you teaching in science? At the beginning of the year, we start talking about matter, and then we move to butterflies, and then we move to animals. I don't know. Maybe it's outlining everything that we would teach in that year for social studies, and then listing it out what each main topic is. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll see how, I've never used this before. And then here is a monthly reflection for June. I'm not going to be feeling this at all for June. This is solid vacation month. But there's that right there. And I think this monthly reflection at the end of June, at the end of every month, looking over how did this month go? What did you need to change? What you need looking ahead to the next month. And then each of these now are tabbed for the following months. And this is July. Word of the month, renewal. That's a good word for the summer for a teacher. Let God's love restore you, renew your weary soul. And then here is it's the same for every month right here. If I could turn it open. Here is a coloring page and a verse. I really love that. Like I said, I think that's good for doodling during a staff meeting. Here is your whole monthly calendar. And what I like to do before the school year starts is when I have my staff meetings for just elementary or the whole school meetings, district meetings, holidays, no school days, I like to fill this all out. And then as the month occurs, I write things like school assembly or homecoming, and I fill it in as I start to know what's going on. I'm guessing that this memory verse is this one here that they want you to write down. I don't know if I'll be taking part in that. And then gratitude. You could list some things that you're thankful for that month. I do appreciate that. That's nice. Then these pages here are just blank note pages. And typically what I do with these in my other planner, they had them at the end of the month, is I would take notes during staff meetings because we had weekly staff meetings. And so things that I need to remember to put into the newsletter, or things that are coming up that month, or things that I need to remember, report cards are due at this time. Any kind of staff meeting notes I would take there. And so they do have 1-2 pages. So my other planner had more. So I'll have to keep it light. And then here is the week or the month of July. Starts with the 30th of June and it lists it in order, Monday through Friday. The weekend each have their own boxes that are different. And this is what I like. My last planner listed this as if I was going to do my lesson plans in the planner, in the book. And I thought about it, and because I like to complete everything I start, a couple times I wanted to do it. But our school has lesson plans online, so it made no sense for me to do it online and then come write it all down in here. But what I can do is like put Monday. Maybe I would say, you're going to need to get your copying done. Maybe bullet the things that I need to copy because I like to do all my copying Monday morning for the whole week. Or maybe I'd put down Tuesday science experiment. Or, just little notes or things that I need to remember specifically. Lunch meeting for an ISP. Or staff meeting is canceled today. Woohoo! So that's what I plan on doing in here. Just little tiny notes, things that I have to do. And then on this side, these are some notes, to-dos for the week. Maybe you have a bulletin board you have to change over, or worksheets to rip for the next week. Any prayer, anything going on that week. If you're not a spiritual person, you could even put this down as a reflective time, a meditative time, thinking about relaxing or things that you need to do, or a special student you want to do special things for. I am not sure what this is down here. Daily habits. I don't know what they want me to track in there. Maybe how many times I drink coffee. I should write coffee. Yep, every day I drink it, fill in my bubble. Or maybe I need to do to be more serious, maybe some professional development. Did I watch a professional development video? I guess I could fill in a bubble. I want to do that 3 times a week. Here, plan your work week. I think this is good to label, like, do you have any before school meetings? Do you have any lunch meetings? Do you have any after school meetings? Things like that, because they always slide up on you. And that is what they have for every month. They have a bunch of those all the way through to the very end of the month. And then here is the last page, that monthly reflection. We'll see if I fill those out or not. Ooh, look at this. They have a little key down here. How to use the 4T system. Write down everything that's on your plate. Mark each task. Trash, just stop doing it. Trim it, do it less often. Transfer, treasure, Find out more at teachingthehot.com/14. Okay, well, I don't know. So I really do like how they have their months laid out. I like this big calendar at the beginning to let you know everything that's going to be going on. And then this is just reminder stuff. That is what I like. So this is the one big reason why I wasn't crying my eyes out when the Teaching Texan didn't have any more for me to do. He ran out. He'd sold all the ones he was willing to make. And so I'm very excited about that. And so it goes through. Here's some of the other, here's like a Thanksgiving picture. Let's see what they have for February. Ooh, some kind of art room. That's cute. March. That's like a living room scenery. That's weird. What are we looking at here? Here's maybe a entryway. Here's where you hang up your coats and shoes and I don't know. April, flowers. I know I skipped a bunch. Let's see what they have for June, the best month of the school year. Nothing important. Okay, so the logs. The back of this planner is really what I was looking for, okay? Right here. I love the student checklist. Now, just like I do my lesson planning on the computer, I also have my grade book on the computer. It's all online. All the schools probably do it now. Your principal and the school secretary have access, and then they email it out to the parents. But I use these for a whole assortment of things. When I'm listing who turned in their homework, I will put all my kids' names listed here, and then I would maybe put the date and the homework, and the teacher's aide will collect it and put a check. And I like to track in the beginning of who get a good overview of who's really good at remembering to turn in their homework and who's not. Or I also have another page that we have to do these reading assessments with our reading curriculum, where the kids have to do a reader and we assign a number based on how well they read. It's like I forgot what they're called. Well, anyway, they're assigned a score, and so I put the date, I put unit 1 in the date, and then I put the kid's score, a running record. That's what it's called. And so the whole year I will track all their running records. And what's really nice is I just wrapped up my year, is I saw the growth that some of these kids made. Every kid was getting higher and higher, and it was so nice. If you have field trip forms, anything that you want to track, whether the kids are doing. So I love these checklists, student checklist pages. I use them. I love them. Now, I do not care for the communication log. Here is the communication log. I will say the Teaching Texan gave us a key up here to denote or note what kind of communication you had, whether it's call, email, in person. I don't do this. I just email the parents, and in my email, I have a folder for each kid. And if I write their parent an email, I drag the response and the email into that. I don't use these communication pages at all. I don't know how I can maybe you can give me an idea of how I could reuse these pages for something else. I don't know. I just basically communicate by email. I suppose if you had a parent pop in for a meeting, I take notes in a notebook, and then I take that page, I rip it out, and I put it in the kid's file in my drawer. I have a paper file. So I don't know what this is about. I've never used them in the other one. I don't think I'll use them. They give you a lot of pages of this, though. Actually, they don't. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Thank goodness. The Teaching Texan gave us a ton, and I didn't use them at all. Here's some more note pages. Maybe you could use these for taking meeting notes at staff meetings or with the parents. I don't know. So there's quite a few. And then the last page, they only have one of, which I really liked in my other one. And it's these little dot pages, like kind of like a grid. I like to use these to draw out seating charts, like ways that I want to rearrange my desks. I don't always have them right in rows. Sometimes I have pods, and I like to use this to graph out what my classroom looks like and how to rearrange the desks. Although I will say this past school year, I did not rearrange as much as I used to. Another way I like to use these is lay out the reading groups and the math groups. And I just have a list, and I do some thinking about where they go, and I check their scores, and then I always have a written out version here. The very end, they give you a pocket folder. And that is it. Now, I will say the thing I did really like about the Teaching Texan Planner is they did give you a page of stickers. No stickers here. You're going to have to go to the store and buy your own stickers. All right, well, that is my page-by-page outlook of the Pray and Plan 2025-2026 Teacher Planner, homeschool teacher, Sunday school teacher. You're needing to have a busy day to fill out this every day. Look at that, October, help. That's funny. I would put that in May. All right, well, thanks for popping in to watch this planner overview. Just want to remind you, I'm not sponsored. I don't have a coupon code. I will put a link in the description to Teach for the Heart if you want to get your own. I also will put a link in the description for the Teaching Texan, but I'm pretty sure you're out of luck for this school year's planner. I know, and that's wild because right now it's June. It's mid-June, but they were sold out when I tried to buy one. And so I'm trying something new. Check out the Pray and Plan or the Teaching Texan for next year, I guess. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. Okay, bye.